You know, I want to start off by thanking the Air National Guards, the feds, that set all this up, 144th and 146th Airborne folks for this alternative site. I want to thank the City of Fresno for they worked really quickly getting us into the exhibition hall. This is an alternative site for us, and I want to thank them. I want to recognize these are assets for the region. This isn't just for Fresno, it's for the region. And we will use the assets to hopefully first expand the footprint of the hospitals we have. So obviously they've been planning for 3 weeks for this pandemic, and these assets will be for them first if they can expand their footprint, because we want people to be in the existing hospitals. And that also means regionally, so not just in Fresno. And another thing, I hope we don't use this. I mean, our number one plan is we're ready, we have a site, we have this stuff here. We'll be able to, they're working on manning it, and the hope is we won't need it.
We are in unprecedented times, trying to navigate uncharted waters. But the good news is our community has come together like never before to prepare for whatever this COVID-19 pandemic might bring us. And that's what opening this alternative healthcare facility is all about. So we're all gathered here today to show the public that we're ready to take care of our community if needed, whenever that time comes. Collaboration is the hallmark of what we do at City Hall with the City of Fresno, and I'm proud that the city, the county, the state, as well as our local health providers and our first responders from the fire department and from the Air National Guard have worked tirelessly to bring this facility to life. The City of Fresno is very pleased to be able to offer our convention center as the location for this alternative healthcare facility, and we will continue to work with all of our partners to do everything we can to protect the health and the safety of our community.
I really want to echo the comments that Mr. Sandgriff and Supervisor Mendes have made, that this is a collaboration, and it really shows our community at its best. People coming together during an emergency, anticipating and preparing for a crisis, and really just being partners in every single step of the way. I wanted to just go into a little bit of details about exactly what's being planned here, and I'm going to use that in the full sense of the word being planned. We are not quite finished. This is a work in progress. What you see behind me is really what I consider the bare bones of an alternative care site. Whenever we say that, that's not the same thing as a hospital. So we're not, unfortunately, going to be able to provide a full service hospital here, but it will be a way for us to decompress and also amend and add to the capacities of our local hospitals and really add to all of the things that they will be doing whenever we experience a surge condition. All of our hospital partners, some of whom are here today, are all in dialogue and have been planning for this pandemic for many weeks. And we've recognized that it won't be just one overnight event, that it will be a somewhat slower onset of different types of emergencies, and it will challenge a lot of our resources in different ways over different time points. And so we're really taking this as different phases of a larger pandemic, and each phase will require a different kind of response. What you're seeing behind me will represent really the last resort, really the last phase of that response after we've exhausted all of the capacity, all of the surge planning, and all of the other options for hospitals to take the best care of their patients at their own sites and elsewhere that they're identifying care places. What we hope to do is that we can actually treat patients here that initially do not have the COVID-19, so that the best care for the COVID patients can be provided by the hospitals themselves at their own sites. However, if there's anything that we've all learned and can count on, it's that this germ does find its way into just about every environment. And we're fully prepared to take care of COVID patients here, whether we need to transfer COVID patients just because we've run out of space at the other facilities, or if we end up having a COVID patient who develops the infection while staying here. So again, we're not tying ourselves to any single plan. I think it would be unwise to not be flexible at this point and to really keep all options on the table. But those are some of the plans that we're trying to make. And we're gonna be prepared for really any challenge, any contingency that we need to face. And we'll be doing it as a group with a united front. This is going to be really a site where people convalesce and not have escalating care. And so this is again, not going to be a full service hospital. That's not the design of this site. That's not why the federal government was able to share these assets with our region. But it is just one more way that we can help make some space at some of the other hospitals so that they can do the very best standard of care for the patients that they treat.
And it was a bunch of folks from my organization, the 144th Fighter Wing, that came out yesterday to help build this, along with members of the 146th Airlift Wing out of Ventura. You know, this is one of those things where, being in the Guard, this is what we are built to do, is to respond to our communities when there is a crisis, whether we're talking about wildfires or something that is incredibly unique and different, such as this challenge. The 146th Airlift Wing, this is the third or fourth facility they built in the state to support this mission. The 144th, since we're here in town, we provided a lot of airmen to come over and help put this thing together. What's interesting to note is that we don't have a squadron full of experts on how to build field hospitals. These are folks pulled from everything from emergency management to civil engineering to logistics, and they just want to come out and contribute to the mission. It's always inspiring to me. I've been with this wing for almost 20 years, and they knock it out of the park every time. It's important for the community to know that, you know, these young airmen and women that are within the 144th Fighter Wing and the other Air National Guard wings, they will always step up to do the job. In fact, a lot of the people that were here yesterday to build this facility will be leaving in the next day or two to go up to the Bay Area or wherever else are needed to start working in food banks. So it's a pretty awesome responsibility for these folks, and I just want to reassure you and the community that, man, without them, it would be a different ballgame altogether.